So hold on right there. I'm gonna ask it all y'all. All right, so in y'all's opinion, do you think that love in and of itself is more compromising or accepting the person for who they actually are?
I think it's both. You definitely, it's
How can it be both?
in the sense that you have to do both at the same time. In a relationship, you're going to make compromises because you're different. You're going to come to the table with what you want, and that person's going to come with what they want.
Right.
So yeah, the compromising is how you work it together.
Yeah, how you meet each other.
Yeah, how you meet each other. But in terms of personal sacrifice, you're going to do that. But what was the other thing you said?
Accepting the person for who they actually are.
Who they actually are. Now, I have to admit, I learned personally that that's a life goal with the person because you are learning that person, and then you don't learn everything up front. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you'll learn some things maybe a year in, and then you have to accept that too. And it may be something you.
But here's my dilemma. Here's my dilemma. All right, let's say, and I'm talking about people in general, relationships, whatever. Okay. If you accept somebody for who they are, this is who they are.
Right.
That can be perceived as, man, that's real love. They accept me for who they are, right? Or in order for me to get closer to you, you have to compromise, or I have to compromise.
Right.
And if they compromise for each other, then that can be perceived as love. Mm-hmm. My thing is, how do y'all perceive love? Because I don't think love is the same across the board.
Oh no, it's not.
Now you said both, but at the same time, if we're making compromises, it's some things about you I don't accept.
Right.
But let's say two people love to go to the club, love to do drugs, love to do this. I accept them. They probably accept them because it's like looking in the mirror. But let's say two people are the polar opposite. Mm-hmm. I accept his wild life, and I accept her conservative life.
Right. But
where does
that to me that
what is
doesn't
love
work.
To you?
And I say that not disrespecting anybody because I understand now. I know now at 55. When you're not true to yourself, I'm just saying, you have to be true to yourself. That's something I learned. If you're not true to yourself, but you're so out to make somebody else happy, somebody's not going to be happy, and that relationship in time is going to separate. Because you're not being true to your own self.
Right.
Now, when you're true to yourself,
then you don't accept that.
then you don't. It's going to be you won't accept it, and that may not work out.
Right.
So you have to be willing to put yourself out there to learn these things and be able to accept. You can love somebody to a sense, but I'm still got to be true to myself. And I know this ain't going to work because you have to be. It'd be some honest questions you have to ask yourself and be real with yourself.
There you go.
Well,
See, that's what I'm about to say, Jay, because it's like if showing my expression of love for you is compromising myself, then I'm gonna deal with myself with due diligence.
But how do you know it's not you? How do you know? Maybe I'm tripping.
No, because like you said, it's some things you're gonna have to accept. Just by me accepting somebody else's actions or ways, that's not saying I love them. It's saying I want to see if I can build, if that makes sense. Now, like Dre said, it's gonna get to a point once I lose myself within that, and I lose the respect for you, and I gotta look out for me. That's not love right there. There's no more compromising.
Right. What I find interesting is that what you said, it makes sense. Do you really accept the things you don't accept? That's what you're saying.
Is that love?
Is that love, right?
That sounds like love.
Yeah, that is, because at the end of the day, there are two sides to the coin. We have good and we have bad. That's being a human being.
Right.
You're not all good and you're not all bad. There's usually a balance. Do you accept both sides of that coin of that person? And meaning this, you don't have to agree with a number of the things. They may not be aligned with what you would normally do, but will you accept it simply to be with that person? You feel me? I think, is that where you're going with this?
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
On that aspect, is it something that you willing to accept and something you not?
It's well, I mean, I'm
No, but that's-
I'm
that's
not
the-
saying me per se.
I'm
What
just
I'm
saying
saying is,
Yeah, but no, I like
can
that
you
you
really
pose
say
that.
you love somebody if
If
it's something you don't accept about?
You really don't accept, but you still with them. Are you asking?
Well, I don't. In a sense, I don't accept. I can be with you and not accept something. That means that I'm either ignoring it.
Right.
I'm dealing with it.
That's what I'm. Oh, you're dealing with. That's what that. It's like.
But love,
Right.
and I want to make sure I'm putting this in perspective. It
Right.
don't have to be a person. It could be a family. It could be anybody.
Right.
Can I stay in the same vicinity as you and still tell you I love you, even though I think there's some
well,
things
that's-
you need to
that's
compromise in order to be
perspective.
able
So,
to
yeah.
accommodate me?
To
That's
coexist.
love.
Yeah, that
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That's love.
Is that love?
No, because
Is it,
I
or
can-
is it only love if the other person agrees to it?